This video is brought to you by Bespoke Post. Bespoke Post is a monthly subscription box for guys who give a damn. Each box is packed with high quality gear and useful advice to help step up your life. The contents of each box ranges from tools and drinks to gear for style and travel. When you sign up, you'll take a quiz that helps teach Bespoke your interests, and at the beginning of each month, you'll get to see what's in your box before it ships. If you don't like it, you can choose from other boxes available, skip that month, or return or exchange it hassle-free. And you can even choose other add-on items from their store to ship with your box. For members, each box will cost $45 with free shipping, $55 for non-members, and has a total value of at least $70, often much more. If you want to see what it's all about, join the club using the link in the description. Welcome back, everybody. My name is Taylor Martin. This is the best Damn EDC, and it's time for another EDC Weekly. And if you're new here, I just want to start out by saying that I start every single show with community announcements because this is a community show. So if you don't want to see those announcements, click right here, skip forward, and just know that you suck. You really, really suck. Not a ton of announcements this week other than the fact that I picked up some really nice knives this week. So last week in the Discord on Friday, I did a fire sale of a lot of my knives, and I ended up selling like $900 and some worth of knives, which I turned around and spent on more knives. So I ended up picking up this Zero Tolerance 0550 BW, which was a Blade HQ exclusive of this version of the 0550. I got this from John Smith. It is bad. I love this knife. I also picked up the Something Obscene Company J-Cape 3.0. This thing is also very, very sick. M390 steel. Just awesome action, awesome ergonomics. Really sick knife. I love the logo and I love the lightning bolt pocket clip. But I also bought a Chavez Ultramar with brass inlays, an Urban EDC Supply exclusive. I also want to throw out a big thanks to Erin over in the Discord. She actually sold me this right here, right after I said I would probably not get one for a while. This is a Lynch Northwest All Access Pass 2.0. They are hard to find. She sold me this at a really good price, and it looked pretty much brand new. So kudos to you, Erin. Thank you. I also bought a Maverick Customs pry bar over in the Discord. There's a lot of stuff happening over in the classifieds constantly. So if you're in the market for a new knife or a used knife or used gear, go check it out. Join the Discord. Go check that stuff out. But if you notice, I'm wearing this super sexy watch right now, this old Casio. You may remember the budget EDC video I did, the first one, the $50 budget EDC video. I started carrying this stuff today, Wednesday. This will be my EDC for the next 2 weeks. That's a Kershaw Shuffle 1, a Zebra F-301 pin, this Casio watch, a Travelambo minimalist wallet, a Lumen Top EDC 01 flashlight, and a Nitize S-Beaner. That's my whole EDC. The whole thing costs less than $50. I'm stuck with it for 2 weeks. And let me tell you, it is very hard to be excited about this right here when you've got this sitting on your desk waiting and just begging to be carried. It's really hard to be excited about this Kershaw Shuffle, but this is it. This is the knife that I get to use for the next 2 weeks. Anyway, this week was all about hand dumps. So if you submitted and you did not submit a hand dump, then you are not going to be featured this week. But we got some cool submissions. We got a few honorable mentions. So with all of that said, let's do the damn thing. So the first featured submission this week comes from Vincent Minnucci, who I think has been featured in the past, or at least an honorable mention. The name is familiar, but you can actually find them over on Instagram at Vincent Minnucci, spelled like over here, spelled like this. Anyway, first up in the center of the photo is his knife of choice. That is the CRKT Polar Large. That's the D2 all black version. And to the left of that is his pry tool. That's the Odin's Gear Titanium Pry Bar. And beside that is his pin, the Big Idea Design TI Pocket Pro. On the far right of the photo is another multi-tool. That is the Coke Tools Duo X, which I featured here on the channel previously. And beside that is his flashlight, the Roby Von Aurora A3 with the Nichia 219C LED inside. And underneath that, he keeps all of this gear inside his Yellow Birch Outfitters Pocket Pro in modern, and that is the Urban Gray version. Inside that, he has the Insights Pocket Notebook. That's actually a special edition Overwatch theme purchased at BlizzCon 2018. Oh, you haven't written too many notes in there, have you? And then finally around his wrist is the Fossil FS4487 watch, which you don't see pictured here, but what he says he still carries is a OnePlus 5T in a OnePlus Rosewood case, a Mighty Hanks Kraken handkerchief, a CRKT Prime and multi-tool, a Chums Surf wallet, a Gil-Tek Ruck V2, and then finally a small nylon pouch from a maker on Etsy to carry, quote, dad supplies. Inside that pouch, he has bandages, wipes, Lactaid pills, children's Claritin, children's Advil, etc. Vincent says, this is a bit of a theme, black and gray, lighter carry for the weekend. Some items cross over to my work EDC. I'm a home inspector and construction consultant. The custom pry bar from Odin's Gear, for instance, has a laser-etched ruler on the rear side that I use to measure for code compliance. The Pilar Large and D2 I carry most days, working for the size, weight, and strength of the blade steel. The Rovivon A3, purchased with the code BestDamnEDC on rovivon.com, of course, thanks, is a great second flashlight that I can attach to the brim of my hat for a second headlamp when I'm in crawl spaces and attics. Everything I carry for work has to fall into a specific Venn diagram of lightweight, durable, and cost-effective, as the heavy use and site conditions often lead to breakage and loss. And any items I keep in my off-work rotation helps that cost-effective aspect much more. I've been in the construction since I was 13, but grew up in the industry as my father owned a large renovation company since I was born. I always had an appreciation for better, more long-lasting tools. I would always spend a little more for a tool that would last years, unlike some of my coworkers who would break and buy 3 or more cheap hammers a year, for instance. Not until I found your channel did I ever think to put that into use with what I carry daily outside my tool belt. Likewise, I never thought to carry more than a Leatherman and a utility knife meant for job site work. Even how and what I carry for my kids has changed and been both greatly streamlined and made more effective and efficient, which is at the heart of EDC. So thank you very much, and keep up the great and appreciated work. Cheers, Vincent. Well, thanks, and I'm glad that I could help you apply that logic to your daily carry, because that's really the whole point. I mean, other than pocket jewelry and showing off and having really cool knives that we just flip open a million times a day and never actually use to cut anything, the whole point at the end of the day is practicality. Carrying the stuff that makes your day easier. That's the entire point of everyday carry, although we take that and bend it and mold it to what we really truly want at the end of the day. The point, the whole original idea, is carrying more efficient tools for the job, anything that may come up in your daily life. Anyway, I love this carry. I love that Yellow Birch Outfitters pocket organizer. I have the same one. I carry it pretty often, not anytime soon, not in the next 2 weeks at least. I love this. I love seeing themed carries, even if they're not always practical, so they just look good. At the end of the day, style is also part of EDC, so aesthetic is really neat. Anyway, thanks for submitting and sharing this awesome carry, and you now have a second entry into the June giveaway. The next submission comes from just Erin, but you may know her over on Instagram as Erin's EDC. She's just kind of an up-and-comer. She has a really good eye for aesthetic, and she carries a lot of the same gear I have. We talk a lot in DMs because, you know, we have a lot of the same style, a lot of the same tastes, and it's probably evident by looking at her feed and the pictures that I take. Here is one of her more recent carries. She carries a lot of different stuff. She posts a lot of pictures, and this one she submitted to the show, but I reached back out and I was like, hey, submit again, because I know you got that knife back. We got to get that in the show. So here we go. This is Erin's EDC. Finally, first up in the far left of the photo is her knife of choice, and this is a beaut. It's also exclusive, hard to find, modified. That is a Chris Reeve Wilson Combat Star Benza. That's an exclusive to Wilson Combat. It's a left-handed version, and it's been modified. It's got this acid wash. I'm not even exactly sure what the finish is, but she talks about it over on her Instagram. And next to that is her flashlight. That's the OK Luma or Oklahoma Luma DC0 in copper. And it looks like brass, but it's copper, so she says. The Fellholter Tiny Bolt pin in copper is her pin of choice in the middle of the photo. And then finally, the AV8 Hawker Hurricane watch. Erin says, my EDC typically consists of a knife, a light, a pen, and a watch. These are currently some of my favorites in my collection. The knife was modified by Recalcitrant American. This has popped up a couple of times. I can never say it. Over on Instagram, he anodized the hardware and gave the knife the Spidey hole, which was an awesome upgrade. I use my knives to cut up boxes, open packages, etc. I love having a light on me at all times. Copper is one of my favorite materials, so this OK Luma light fit really nicely into my collection. I typically use lights at night when I walk my dog or when I drop something under the couch or in my car. My pens always get used quite a bit as I'm big into journaling and taking notes. The copper Fellholter was a grail I recently checked off the list. With its small size, fits just about anywhere. Lastly, I always have to be wearing a watch. Love the earthy tones, and this pilot style AV8 watch suits me perfectly and fits with my other gear. I'd rather look at my wrist for the time than at my phone. Here. And actually, I think in this watch roll, I actually have that same watch, but I think it's the white version. Yeah, same watch. Really neat watch. I've been actually wearing this a lot. It's a quartz watch. The only reason I don't love it is the looms are okay, but this sucker's loud. Hear that? I can hear this from like 5-6 feet away when I'm in my office because there's nothing else really going on, not in here, but at home, and I can just hear it. Tick, tick, Yeah, this is a roll of AV8 watches right now, so expect a video on AV8 pretty soon if you couldn't tell. Although the roll is not from AV8, the roll is from Boulder. Sorry, not sorry. Gotta do what you gotta do. I'm very happy to finally get Erin here on the show. I've been asking her to submit for quite a while. Glad she finally did. That Star Benza is sick. Just don't ask her what it cost, start to finish, just to get that knife and get it modified. Actually, you know what? Do it. Go ask. Because why not? No, but this is a really sick carry. I'm jealous of that tiny bolt. I love the tiny bolt design. I want one in copper. I want one in titanium. I want all the tiny bolts and all the tiny pins, period. Anyway, thank you for submitting, Erin, finally. And you now have a second entry into the June giveaway. This next hand dump comes from Christopher Richard, and it's pretty streamlined. It's got some gear. Pretty much all of it is actually stuff we've never seen here on the show before. First up, we have the Decoria titanium and carbon fiber Ulfa utility knife. The pin next to that is the Zebra Sharbo XLT3 pin, and inside that he has Pilot BRFS refills. Next to that is a faceted engineering ring, and next to that is chapstick, which he keeps in some random tin he got on eBay. And then finally under everything is the Slimline Crazy Horse leather wallet. So you'll notice with a lot of these hand dumps is there isn't nearly as much in them, which is kind of nice for me. It's easier to go through them. It kind of limits what you can balance, but there were some hand dumps, which you'll see later, that are loaded with stuff. I picked a few like that just for shiggles, as my friend Chad would say. Christopher says, the utility knife is used to cut anything from steel wool to the countless packages received at the 2 manufacturing labs I work at. The replaceable Ulfa blade it takes allows me to abuse the knife without worrying about it getting ruined. As a graduate engineering student, I am often grading or annotating assignments or documents. The Zebra Sharbo X is perfect for this as it contains a black and red pin as well as a pencil with purple lead, which I sometimes use to mark aluminum for machining. The wallet was a cheap find on AliExpress, and it builds a natural patina from being handled. I've not seen that one, but it actually looks like a really nice wallet. That's really cool about the Zebra pin too. I didn't know that was a thing. Like, I knew multi-cartridge pins were a thing, but this looks small enough to where it wouldn't hold 3. So that's actually really neat. Regarding the utility knife, I love seeing more and more people carry just straight up utility knives and not a full-fledged knife. It's just cool. However, these Ulfa blades are expensive and hard to find. Like, if you don't know where to find them, they're actually really tough to find. One of the ones that I included in my roundup, I actually found one blade for that, a replacement. It was like $5 per blade, which, if you do the math, can get pretty expensive if you're replacing them pretty often. But for what it's worth, you can actually sharpen those Ulfa blades a lot easier than you can sharpen a normal utility knife blade. This is really cool. It's very compact, and I like it. I like this carry a lot. I'm very interested in that Zebra pin now. Oh, before I almost missed this, Christopher says, I'm looking for a stainless or titanium chapstick tin similar to the aluminum one I have. The aluminum ones keep wearing down in my pocket. Well, I have no idea where to begin. I would check probably eBay or AliExpress or something like that to begin with. Etsy will probably have something, but they're going to be expensive. Titanium like that is going to be very expensive for what you get. So I would probably look for stainless over anything else. What I did back when I made my own chapstick and beard oils and stuff is I would take those Altoids Smalls tins. The problem with those is that if you carry it in your pocket and you heat up the wax, it ends up leaking into your pocket because those are not actually watertight. Just throwing that out there. Anyway, thank you for sharing, Christopher. You now have a second entry into the June giveaway. The next submission comes from Boris is a great name. That's really the only name I have to go by, is Boris is a great name. Cool. Anyway, first up in the left of the photo on his wrist is the Casio W800H watch. Next to that is his wallet of choice, which is the Paper Cuts wallet. Looks like a lot like a Mighty wallet. The knife here in the picture is the Spyderco Chaparral, and on that he has aftermarket scales. Those are copper shred carbon fiber scales. Those are really, really cool looking once you zoom in and look at this photo really close up. He also has the Massdrop brass AAA flashlight, and then finally in the far right of the photo is his pin, the Boker 50 cal brass pin. Boris is a great name says, the wallet is relatively new. I replaced the Ridge wallet because it kept tearing up my pockets, so I went back to a soft one. It's actually made out of Tyvek, which is really cool. He says, I prefer modern materials, and this one is made out of Tyvek. I actually made a video years ago on how you can actually make your own Tyvek wallet. He said, when it comes down to writing, and I do write a lot, I like to use a heavier pin. I had a machine error classic pin in brass, but it broke. The threading on the barrel broke off. So my brother gifted me this Boker pin for Christmas. I'm a bit of a knife nut and really like my Chaparral. So when the original Raffir Noble scales started disintegrating, I got myself this pair of customs. Those scales though, I've never seen anything quite like those scales, and they are really cool. So it's like chunks of carbon fiber and chunks of copper I guess in a resin. I've also been eyeing those Boker pins, but they seem really chunky. I'm not sure, like looking at this, I don't really know how big they are, but they look really chunky, but it looks like a really good fidget pin. Anyway, thank you, Boris is a great name, for submitting. You now have a second entry into the June giveaway. All right, this next submission comes from Levi Quale, which I might be mispronouncing that again. He's been featured in the past, or at least was an honorable mention, and he also won in the past. He won the EDC Weekly monthly giveaway, so that's why I chose this one, because you can see a lot of the gear that he won in this photo, and I'm doing that to promote the monthly giveaway. If you don't know about it, just go to edcw.co, submit your EDC. If you do that, if you submit your EDC, you're entered to win a Keysmart Rugged, a Rovivon Aurora flashlight, a Big Idea Design TPT, a Hitch and Timber card caddy, a Yellow Birch Outfitters pocket organizer, and a Griffin pocket tool, now with my logo on it. So you can see all of that gear except for the Yellow Birch Outfitters pocket organizer in this photo. So go to edcw.co, submit your EDC, and you could win all of that stuff. Anyway, you can find Levi over on Instagram at Krusty Cretin. Yep, that's where you'll find him, Krusty Cretin. Anyway, in the far right of the photo, the first thing you'll see is the Tucson Night Morning Design TS48 knife. He also has a Keysmart Rugged and a Griffin Pocket Tool Best Damn EDC edition. Next to that is the multi-tool of choice, the Leatherman Sidekick, and underneath that is a Field Notes notebook in the Expedition version. His phone of choice is the Pocophone F1, and then on top of that is the Rovivon Aurora A1, a Hitch and Timber card caddy, and then inside the card caddy he has a Poca Pen and a Big Idea Design TPT. Next to that is his watch, which is the Casio Duro, that's the MDV 106-1A. On that he has a Zulu strap, and then finally to the left on his bracelet he has the Gerber shard. It just looks very uncomfortable with the shard there. I feel like I would poke myself with it a lot. I do thank you for sharing this submission and showing people that, one, the giveaways are real. I do ship them out. Sometimes I'm a little slow. I was 2 months late on Levi's, maybe 3, but I've explained in the past that it's really tough to orchestrate a giveaway with 6 brands every month. I'll be changing that up once the full year of giveaways is over, which I think is going to be like August. Anyway, Levi says, Best Damn EDC edition. My knife is my custom TS48 with dyed scales and soon to be modified pocket clip. The Keysmart Rugged Griffin Pocket Tool combo changed my life, and on top of being convenient, is streamlined and attractive. The Leatherman replaced my other cheaper multi-tools, and now I won't go a day without it. Underneath the pileup is my Field Notes Expedition memo pad, and had I known of the quality, I would have bought these a long time ago. The graph dots and the paper used make everyday jots a wet dream. Huh. Good to know, I guess. Above that is the Pocophone F1 in a pleather case. It halfway keeps up with the flagships and remains my daily. On top of that is the Aurora A1, and it's just, as Taylor says, stupid bright. Next is the Hitch and Timber card caddy, and this is by far the best wallet I've ever owned. It carries the TPT, and in the pen compartment is the Recycled Firefighter Edition Poca Pen. The pen is a freaking sweet writer, and paired with the Expedition paper is just orgasmic. This is going to a weird place. The Casio Duro is the best watch in my small collection. It's nice, durable, and financially accessible. Last on the list is the Gerber shard. It's been reduced from my key system, but is a mainstay and one of my favorite EDC items. I love every piece of my carry, and I now have no real desire to upgrade anything. Besides the knives, there are never enough knives. Thank you, Taylor, for all that you do with the community. I wish I could buy you a round of whiskey. Say what's up to Axel for me. Oh, nice. Axel doesn't get nearly enough love anymore. Carry on, and then finally, disclaimer, Taylor, pick another winner if I miraculously get drawn again. I'm sure it's unlikely, but I am not trying to win again, just trying to share my awesome gear. Thanks, dude. Well, thanks for sharing. Again, I'm glad to see this stuff from a winner actually make it back into the show. I've seen it a few times, but this one just fit the theme. It was the right timing, so thanks for sharing and showing everybody that, yeah, you can win this stuff and you can rock it too. Of course, I will leave you out of the giveaway if you win. I'll just re-roll, but really cool hand dump. I love that card caddy because that's the limited edition camo leather. I'm not a huge camo fan, but leather and camo, I wanted to keep that card caddy for myself because it's just so unique. Like, you never see camo leather like that, and Hitch and Timber Michael does a fantastic job with all of his stuff. Thanks again for sharing, and you don't have a second entry into the June giveaway. With that out of the way, there are a few honorable mentions that I wanted to show you. First up, this one comes from Mason. You can find him over on Reddit at MTPMC. This one's cool because he shows you what gear he carries while also showing you more about what he's into. Because he's holding the cards in this way, you know more about him, and I felt that was a really, really cool shot. So Thanks for getting creative. I love seeing people get creative with these and just think just slightly outside the box and do something a little different. So you stuck to the theme and you showed me more about your hobby, which is really, really neat. And those are, I don't know much about these cards. I know they're the Chris Ramsey cards, a collaboration with Chris Ramsey and another guy. So yeah, just supporting another YouTube creator out there. Really cool. I love watching Chris Ramsey's videos. His puzzle videos are like ASMR. They're so good. I love watching them and I don't know why. Next up, this one's from Josh Adam, or EDC Wyoming, over on Instagram. He posts these almost daily in the Discord. He's super active and super consistent with posting submissions and posting over in the Discord. This is just a plug for the Discord, but thanks for sharing, keeping things awesome. Next is Max Bernier, or Papa_B, over on Instagram. I actually shared this over on Instagram today. This is just really, really, really solid bang for your buck gear. You've got the Leatherman Wave, the Victorinox Cadet in the black version, which I think was last year's special edition. You've got a Raylight and this Casio World Time, the Royale. Those are 4 pieces of killer gear for the money. We've also got this one from Delano Bornman, I think is how it's pronounced. This one was cool because it's, it's a hand dump. I love the Suru. You guys know I love the Suru. This is what looks like a card caddy, but I don't see the Hitch and Timber logo. So this is similar to a card caddy. He's got a Mech Army flashlight as well as a Cadet, but over on his finger, which was the really cool part, he's got a DB ring. I think that's really cool. I couldn't rock it. I could not rock a ring like that, but that's cool. I think it's just a nice little touch. And then finally, this last honorable mention is just awesome. This is a record for the youngest submitter to the EDC. So some people don't quite understand the rules. So to win the monthly giveaway, you have to be 18, but you do not have to be 18 to submit. You can be any age to submit. I've had people submit that are 12, 13, some younger people. They're just not eligible to win the actual monthly giveaway. So this is the record for the youngest submitter, 3 years old. Their name is Callie. Really cool. You got a little backpack. You've got a notebook holder with a notebook and a pen, some bubbles, it looks like, triangular crayons, which I didn't know was a thing, and a Swiss Army knife. I actually bought that exact style Swiss Army knife for my niece for her 3rd birthday, I believe it was. An iPad, some headphones. This is just really cool. I love seeing this. There was a description. Let me pull it up. I don't have it up right now. Let me pull up the description because it needed to be read. Actually, I think their name is Beau, and Callie is the parent who submitted it. They say, "This is my boy's first EDC. My son, 3 in August, has been super into EDC lately. He checks every day to make sure I have my fleshlight and dollars. He also loves it when I pull out my knife. My wife is going to kill me if she has to take another one of my knives from him because he's trying to open it. Over the weekend, we needed to scrape some old sticky shit off my old grandmother's headstone, and he was right there supervising it all. I decided it was time to put him together a little starter kit that was toddler approved." I think that is awesome, and that's also one of the reasons I got my Craftsman toolbox. Like, I might outgrow that by the time Eleanor is big enough to walk around and grab stuff, but I wanted a place where I could put my knives and lock them up, so when she is running around the house, I can actually have some peace of mind knowing that my knives are locked in the house and she can't get to them. But this is really cool. I love this. Thank you for sharing this. All of the honorable mentions and anybody featured in this video have a second entry into the June giveaway, except for Levi. You're out. You're out, Levi. But thank you again, all of you, for submitting and watching the show. Thank you all so much. I love you guys. That's going to do it for this video. If you found it helpful and you enjoyed it, be sure to hit that thumbs up button down below and subscribe to see more stuff like this in the future, and hit that notification bell so you're notified when I upload new videos. If you want to support what I'm doing here, be sure to hit those links down below. I link every single thing that's mentioned in these videos, and most of those are affiliate links. So if you purchase anything using those links, it helps keep the lights on and fund what I'm doing here. So hit those links, purchase things. It doesn't cost you anything extra. I just get a little bit of a kickback from the sale. Or you can go to patreon.com/bestdamnedc. Be sure to follow us around the web. You can find us on Twitter and Instagram at bestdamnedc. You can find me, Taylor Martin, on Twitter and Instagram at CasperTech. And until next time, carry on.